Well, hello and welcome everybody. I am so excited to be here today. This is a new year, so Happy New Year to everybody. Today is Wednesday, January 8th, 2020, and this is our first Wednesday Team Prosperity meeting of the year. So I am just so excited to be here with everybody, and I appreciate everybody's time that's here on the call, as well as the people taking the time to listen to the recording. I know Mike's put together a great presentation for us, and I wanted to go over some announcements and a few tips before I bring him on. So let me go ahead and pull that information up, and let's go through it really quickly. A few announcements. This is what's been happening. If you are doing business in New York, there is a Reg Ed New York compliance thing. Didn't take me more than like 30 minutes to do. We have until February 1st to do it, so all agents doing business in New York have to take the state-required training. It's on reged.com. I've got the direct link if anybody needs it. Some of you have already done it. If you've done it already, don't worry about it. If you need it, let me know. I'll send you the email with the link. And of course, we know that WFG is always protecting all of our client information as well as business partners. So that's important to know as well as you're building your business. And then on the Transamerica side, there's been an update to what agents can do on the client behalf. And I would never recommend, an agent to call in payment or anything like that anyways. So this is great. If your client needs assistance, you can always do a three-way call with them to help them update banking or anything like that if they can't do that electronically. If you need my help, with any of those numbers, let me know. But this is some pretty basic updates that, everybody needs to know about. There's also a few tips that I wanted to go over. First, a few administrative tips in the CRM. If you have a meeting scheduled with a manager or a consultant, that person needs to have access to the CRM file. So if we don't have access, we won't be able to do that appointment because we won't have their email, their notes, any of their contact information, and we can't get into your CRM or your WFG or anything, only you can. And then when you're initially setting that up, make sure the CRM and the login and the username, email, everything that's created is written down as tested. So that last step of creating a CRM should always be clicking there to log in to make sure the username and password works. We're going to need it for the Tier 4, and if we don't have that information, we will not be able to do the Tier 4. It's just going to delay, and we don't want that. You don't have to add yourself to a CRM file that you've created. You want to save that spot for somebody who needs access to that spot. If you do add yourself, you're going to be getting two sets of notes. You really don't need that either. So if you created the file, you will always be on that file. Nobody can remove you off a file that you created yourself. So definitely, if you need any help with that, I'm always more than happy to help, as well as your upline, is able to help with that as well. Lately, we've had a lot of WealthWave questions about their web assets. They have their own CRM. Their basic version is $29.95 a month. It's a totally optional thing. We do have the privilege of having access to it if we want to. And I'm going to do that once they build out the virtual financial portion of that CRM. Some of you already have it. Some of you are asking about it. You really don't need it right now. It's optional. But our CRM is something that we use every day. So just wanted to make sure that you all understand those are two completely different things. Sending emails. So if you are sending an email to WFG, Transamerica, Crump, any provider for any reason, you have to put in your name and your code number in the title. It doesn't matter what's inside the body. If your name and your code number is not in the title, it's going to get deleted. Also, the attachments all have to be PDFs. If you send them a picture of something, they will not be able to process it. If you're submitting something for a client, your client name and their policy number has to be in the title. If both are not there, they're going to delete it and they're not going to be able to process it. So if you CC me on those emails, I will be resending them with the correct information to the correct parties. So all of you are in my super base. If you want to CC me on some of the stuff going out to carriers as well as client stuff, I'm happy to make sure that, it's correct and shoot you an email back if it's not. Um, Another thing that I wanted to talk about is running reports. We are very blessed and fortunate that we're able to run these reports for yourself, as well as everybody on your team. So some of the reports that you really want to familiarize yourself with under my WFG briefcase, run a report, licensing and appointments. You know, before you write a sale, in a new state especially, you know, you want to check the licensing and appointments for every agent that's going to be on that case. I usually do that, but as you build your own agencies, you need to learn what is looked for under licensing and appointments. And really, you have to have 5 things to get paid. You have to have your license, you have to have your E&O, you have to have your carrier appointment, you have to have your direct deposit set up, otherwise you're going to get a check, and you have to have an anti-money laundering. That is a federal, after the Patriot Act, everyone has to do an anti-money laundering every year. So those things are the things that we look for on the licensing and appointments report. And then something that you should be checking twice a week, commission statements, commission summary, and checks direct deposits. If there's any issues, we need to know about those issues as soon as they come up. So be on top of your business and on top of your money. It's really, really important. Upline leaders is a cool one. It'll show you your hierarchy. Current 1099, I believe they still have a few weeks to get our numbers together for last year, but that is going to be a report that we can run to pull that. I'm sure it's going to be available here in the next, week or two. Total cash flow, you can look at yourself, your base, super base, etc. Points and recruits, another important way that we gauge, are we growing, how are we doing? I like to look at my numbers a lot to see, how things are going. And then policy history. You never have to wonder if you got paid on a policy. You can run a policy history report. All you need is that policy number. You can get it through Transact, or pretty much everything will have that policy number on it. All you have to do is run that policy history, and it will show you everything that was advanced, everything that was recovered against the advance, what's outstanding, etc. So if you need my help with that, I'd be happy to do that. And I'll be starting to make some administrative videos here, hopefully this week, and start, my YouTube channel going for that administrative stuff that you all can refer to. And I'll keep you posted about that. And my last slide, something that's been working a lot for me, the intro call. To me, I really built it out of necessity because I found that sending links and following up forever was not an effective option for me because I just wasn't that good at follow-up. Just proved to be really time-consuming, and I wasn't getting the results that I felt like I should be getting. So my strategy completely changed getting people onto the intro call, just getting them on the phone briefly, let them talk about themselves, take some notes. Really, these conversations are getting me a resolution in 1, 2, or 3 calls at the max. I think I have one that went over 3 calls because we're doing 3 policies for him. So, that one went over 3, but that was just the only exception so far. I don't even add them to the CRM until after I get off the first call with them to know that there is a way that we can find some synergy to work together, or I can be of assistance in some way. And then while they're talking and while I'm taking notes, I'm thinking about how can we help make their lives better, right? So it's not like I'm trying to cram them into a partner persona or a client persona. I'm taking in what they're saying and thinking, can we help this person? Because that's really all people, nobody cares about you or your company. They want to know what's in it for me. How is this going to benefit me? And if we can find that, so maybe they're looking for that additional stream of revenue, or maybe they could expand their existing business, So how are we going to be able to help them? Is it going to be our business model? Is it going to be maybe a referral partner where they can build a stream of revenue just giving referrals and being an inviter and making 65% of that sale. And then the last thing I ask them, are they paying out of pocket for term insurance? If they are, have they heard of living benefits? Real easy. I find out what do they have, face value type of plan cost, what's their health like, great, good, or fair, are they a smoker or non-smoker? And it's pretty basic. I mean, there's a few other things you could probably ask, but that's really everything I need to run an illustration and see if I can help them. So that's just a little bit about, a few updates, a few things that have been working for me. I'm really excited to bring up Mike. Bear with me just for 1 second while I grab him and take a look at this question that I have while he comes over. And perfect. So give me 1 second.
All right, everybody, first meeting of the new year. I hope you guys are excited. Of course, there's going to be some really good days this year. There'll be some bad days. There'll be some days where you just don't feel like doing anything. The key is just to get a consistent rhythm of activity, and regardless of XYZ results on any given day or maybe even week, we keep going forward knowing that if we put in the time and the effort and let that effort compound, we're going to get where we're going. So we're going to talk about some things today that will hopefully help you kind of get in the right mindset as well as build your business. So we are off to a new year, and this is a year where the company is going to hit a great growth curve. Our team will as well, and you individually can ride a lot of the coattails of that growth and put yourself in a great position to absorb it in an orderly way and assert yourself as a leader, mentor, trainer, someone who can support and lead people to where they want to go. Couple things that you want to make sure as far as mindset this year, whether you are dealing with people in a physical kind of environment or a digital kind of environment, upgrade your network. If you get around better people, you're going to learn from them, and the ability to assist those people with possible business opportunity or client services is a lot greater. And you'll just find that if you go forward and you get more confident, you put yourself out there around people that are probably better than you, it has a great deal of advantages that will continue to pour in for you. We talk about this all the time. We've always got new people coming in. The one thing that a manager can do, first and foremost, is make sure that any new person can do a screen share and a three-way call. Doesn't take long. It's a 5 to 10 minute process to make sure, A, they can connect a three-way call, and B, join and open a screen share. Alana and I are going to start taking 1 week out of the month to teach the company. So this month in January, we've got the Tuesday company meeting, we've got the Saturday company meeting, and we've got the Thursday consultant meeting. So if you guys can show up, show some support, we want to try to, this is a power grab this year. We want our team to be one of those teams that's on the forefront of the growth, helping make the decisions, helping steer this company where we want it to go. Remember, this is our livelihood, your livelihood, our futures. We want to have as much say in this as possible. Also, Julie Stewart has, she wants to start teaching you guys basically once a month, and we agreed because Julie's always got great stuff for us, and the annuity line over at Crump is something that if you guys get comfortable with the product, with the strategies, the concept, how to sell, it's a great tool in your tool belt that people are going to need going forward. So Julie, for first 3 months or so this year, February 14th, same time every time. It's always going to be on a Friday, and it's always going to be at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, Friday, February 14th, Friday, March 20th, and Friday, May the 1st. We'll continue to put updates in there. She's securities licensed, so we will record it, but I can't put it out. I've got to email it out and give it to you guys on when you guys ask for it. But beyond those, there's some always great information there. Thing that Alana touched on is you want to make sure that just because you're brand new and there's not a whole lot going on, you want to start learning things when you're brand new, when there's not a whole lot going on. So as things start to get bigger, you're not overwhelmed by what you need to do for yourself and others. And one of the main things that you have to understand is your cash flow. If you look at a business that has no idea or comprehension or grasp on their cash flow, that's a business that's not going to be in business very long. So you need to understand your cash flow, and every Tuesday and every Friday, put it on your calendar, depending on how big the commission statement or summary is, 15 to 30 minutes to review it. If you need help, ask us. But essentially, mywfg.com, briefcase, run report, the commission summary is exactly that. It's a summary. The statement's more detailed, and you can generate the full view on either one of those. Every Tuesday and Friday, be reviewing that. If you need help this year, just raise your hand and ask. Where we see the results coming through, but I don't know. If you're struggling with something, raise your hand and say, hey, I'm doing this. This is not working. I'm not able to effectively go through conversations and control and direct those, whatever it is. let us know. But I'm warning you, if your problem is lack of activity, there's nothing that we can do on our side so the activity gets up to the point that we can analyze it, see what's going on, and have enough sample size of a population to let you know what you need to change. Just keep doing what you're doing, guys. If you're developing good habits and you continue doing those day in and day out, the results are going to vary, but overall, you're going to get better. And you have to get better at something that you're doing continuously, because if you don't, you're going to grind yourself into a motivational hole. So make sure you continue to educate yourself on what you need to do to get better. Do it every day, and reflect. This year, like last year, we want to concentrate on being solutions-based. And a solutions-based marketer, solutions-based manager, and solutions-based consultant will get far better and bigger results than people who are problem-based. So it doesn't matter if somebody's outside the company looking in or you got partners inside the company. You want to be solutions-based. You want to solve problems. Bill Mitchell in a business webinar said that, and he summed it up pretty well, that we give people a very legitimate business opportunity. However, we do not give people a problem-free business opportunity. If you're an entrepreneur starting business for yourself, you're never going to find a situation where it's problem-free. Some of what you do on a daily basis is solving problems. Be solutions-based. Don't hang and center yourself around the problem. Center yourself around the solution. Last year, we did a lot of work on organic lead generation. I think that we put together some great things that were going out and not only tested, but are getting some good results from the partners who are using it. This year, along with more automation, we'll also be looking at some paid marketing. How do I take what I've learned organically, throw some fuel on it, and go out there in the marketplace and create even more leads? And then it just goes back to what we always talk about. If I'm paying for anything, I want to know what my cost of acquisition is, what my return on investment is, things of that nature. So we'll work a lot this year on that, continue with the organic as well as the automation. And this year, the theme really, guys, is along with upgrading the people that you surround yourself with, discipline equals dollars. If I see the separation in people in this company who are doing well versus ones that are doing mediocre and less than mediocre, it's really about the discipline. And if you can get discipline, understand what you do well, what you don't do well, and then improve daily, but be disciplined day in, day out, you're going to find the results that you're looking for. Because as you stay disciplined, you got to understand that's going to get you through the survival period. Any entrepreneurial opportunity, ground floor business, you're going to have a survival period. You're going to have a turning point. Things start to look good. Things are starting to build. You'll have a growth period. Notoriously, you'll have a setback or some setbacks. Once you get past those with discipline and the growth mindset, you have an extreme growth period. You have the organizational development where you're going to have to manage for a period of time. You're going to have a period of time where you're not looking back. You know that you put in place something that's only going to grow, and you've got an exit point. Discipline will get you through the good times as well as the bad times. January 30th through February 1st is our WealthWave World Leadership Convention and Conference. If you guys can make it, great. We would love to see you there. If you can't this year, understand that as well. Our group a couple years ago started very small. We're slowly growing. I think over the coming few years, we'll get bigger and bigger and bigger and more influential in terms of how we're integrated into this conference. Also, January the 30th, our football tournament ends, and we've been doing that for a couple months now. Just know that January 30th will end it, and $150 to the winner, $50 to second place. And here's an updated scoreboard. Alana and myself, we can win or come in second, but we can't be paid out. So it'll just go to the next person. Also, January the 30th or February the 1st ends our 12-week year for this period. We'll be doing some other periods as we go along. I've been doing the 12-week year for a while, and I'll find that I have really great 12-week years, really terrible 12-week years, but I always enjoy the process, learning, and interacting with you guys on the WAM groups. If you get nothing else out of a 12-week year other than a little bit of process discipline, time management, and the ability to interact with people who are actually doing this on a daily basis and talking about what's working, what's not working, and how they're approaching their business. I love the 12-week year WAM groups, and like I said, we'll continue to do those. That's a great way that you can get around people and learn who have been doing this for a while. And really, it's just about the vision. Remember, the vision is going to propel you and motivate you to do what you need to do and have that daily discipline. Then it's about the 12-week goals, weekly goals, daily actions. Make goals, and we'll go back through this before we start a new 12-week year, that you have the most control over, depending on where you are in your business. And real quick, guys, I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but I do want to make sure you understand that there's a bunch of tools that we've introduced that you can use that are basically free. But GMAS, great email service that you can blast some emails out. It'll separate them down into individuals and send them out. You need a good Gmail signature to allow people to get to know you more, social links, website links, whatever it might be. That's free advertising. Snipply, we talk about the ability to put a banner headline inside an article and recycle that. There is a video on YouTube on how to do that on my channel. LinkedIn Helper, some of you guys are using it. Some of you guys are using alternates to this. It's an automation tool for your messaging. Google Alerts, if you want to learn about something or if you need information to recycle out on platforms, google.com/alerts. You set up keywords. Google will deliver that daily into your inbox. Lightshot, screen capture tool. My handwriting is completely messy, and if I try to keep up in a lot of these webinars, it never works. I can't read what I write. I just screenshot stuff now. I screenshot stuff all day long. It's an important tool. Track your email. You want to know if it's a client, partner, prospect that they received the email and they opened it. It's very important. On the partner side, we get emails sometimes back that says, hey, Joe Smith opened your email 4 weeks ago. Not a good sign for a partner, but it does give you a great idea and make sure that the emails are being received, being opened, and being accessed. Google Docs, we use this a lot if you need HTML quality docs, or if we use Google Sheets a lot, the whole suite there. And then Bitly, you got a long URL, you need to shorten it down. Bitly will do that for you. So these are all tools that will help get you things done in a more efficient manner and oversee your business a little bit more efficiently. We'll go through some of this stuff at a later time, but ultimately you want to have as efficient model for yourself so you can pass that down to others. And don't forget the new lifestyle page they released a few months ago. It's really nice. You find that in your CRM under Lead Wizard, under Lead Capture. The very last one is called Lifestyle Page. It's one I use quite often. I like it. So do a lot of other people. I would have that as one of your go-to when you send people. Remember, you've got two sides. You got the client side, you got the partner side, but you also got two sides in terms of the direct business activity that you need to do and the marketing activities that are going to get you the funnel that will lead to business activity. With daily activity sheet, remember, if you are a data-driven person and you understand what you're doing and what's that returning, very easy to grow and scale a business, teach other people how to do it. So when we looked at this, I got a little feedback from you guys, but overall, I think we left it pretty much the same. And you've got, how many people are you asking to connect with on LinkedIn as well as Facebook? And then as those people start to come in and connect or accept the friendship, the new connection message, new friend message, that intro message, that's important because that intro message says, it'll let us know what's the percentage of our connections that are actually accepting because everybody's getting that first message. And that first message, actually sets up the whole streamline of the rest of the messages. So that's telling us, okay, we're building a pipeline in both of these, advertising, marketing, emails, new video sent, new eyes on your video assets, whether it's potential partner, potential client. It's a good leading indicator. Follow up, outbound calls, text messages. Remember, text is a great communication tool. How many people we actually reach. And then we added this out-of-pocket term. And then it goes all the way down to the results. Now, we'll have some additional training on your new partners. If anybody wants to join in, we would love to have as many people on this activity sheet as possible because it helps them and it helps us help them. But essentially, this is our money question this year. And I'm fully convinced to the point that I put this on the sheet that if you've got a new partner coming in, let's say they just passed the life insurance exam, and they're able to go out and ask a very simple question, pass the person off to you, and make easy money, they're going to get addicted to this business. So this is one of the things that will help you in your individual income goals per month. But it also helps your partners which is going to help the organizational growth. If you ask this enough times per month, I think there's 3 to 5 sales for you as an individual and the people in your base shop or, digital portfolio of agencies. So it's very important that we're asking that. And the reason is because there's tens of millions of policies that need to be replaced over the next 5, 6, 7, 8 years, whatever it might be. It will give you a huge injection of growth, both in business activity, but also revenue and income. So make sure you guys are asking that on a daily basis, and make sure you're asking at the right time. If you've got, for example, somebody really interested in the business opportunity, you're sending the videos, that question is not coming up until you get to the point, wherever it is, that there's no continuing communication or follow-up scheduled. One last question. Do you pay out of pocket for term life insurance? When we're looking at this, the whole thing, that whole activity sheet that leads to tiers, that leads to partners, clients, income, bonuses, growth, it all starts with marketing. You have to let people know you're in business, and you have to let the right people in and keep the right people out. Remember, you can work really hard at this business and not make any money. We're not trying to do that. We're trying to work smart and efficiently so that we're bringing in the right people, and the time, energy, resources goes behind something that's going to be mutually beneficial, but also get you a return on that time investment. And that starts with a tier 1. Remember, the tier 1 is the front door to your business, and it creates awareness, interest, decision, action points. And the tier 1 is the foundation of your build out and all of your partners' build out. I think that no matter if somebody's been here 6 months, 9 months, or 2 days, you should have a goal both on the partner and the client side. Now, we've always talked about on the partner side that 3 direct qualified hires per month is something you should shoot for. But also on the client side, you should shoot for 3 client sales per month. If you can do the 3 by 3, 3 partners, 3 clients, teach your partners to do the same, it's going to get people instant revenue and income, which keeps them, involved with the business. But it also gives them a forecasting tool to let them know that if they're achieving this stuff, they are growing, and they're growing it the same way that everybody else is doing. This will lead ultimately to everything else you need: base shop growth, super base shop growth, franchise growth, all the good stuff that we're looking for. And really all of that, the tier 1, the business partners, the client, all of that can really be initiated with just a simple hello. Just learn how to open conversations with people, not shove stuff down their throat. Just be somebody authentic, real, whether it's physical, you're talking to somebody, one-on-one in a group, or whether it's digital platforms, messages, whatever it is, just get to know people. Show interest in other people. That's the greatest way that you can build interest in what you do, to show interest in other people, because in this environment, people are so used to just having stuff shoved down their throat constantly, pitches. It doesn't work. It's very off-putting. And when you come with another type of approach, it differentiates yourself from the marketplace. And we talked about this, if they pay for out-of-pocket term life insurance, you're qualifying them on 2 things: that they have term insurance and they're paying for it, meaning not group insurance. And then, do they know about living benefits? Like we talked about, there's about a 30% to up to about a 33 or a third % chance that if you're talking to somebody with an active term, they might fall into the upgrade window. And remember, if you're reallocating funds to a better vehicle, very clear and easy for the client to see why they should make that change if you explain it to them in a clear, concise, and really an elementary way. The tier 1 was discussed in length on the November 20th Team Prosperity meeting. It's on the YouTube channel. You can go there. It handles warm market, social media, cold market, flow charts, exactly what to do no matter what is said. And then November the 27th, we back that up with handling objections, closing language, asking for the sale to make sure that you're getting paid for what you're doing in the marketplace. Remember, you're solutions-based. You're solving problems. You need to get paid for that. And since the time of that release of that team meeting, we've actually put 2 more updates in the Facebook group. One is both on cold market prospecting. One is how to use a Google search for typical people like real estate agents, insurance agents, finding directories there and reaching out. And then also Craigslist resumes. If you go to any city and state, look under the job section. The very last section on the right-hand side is resumes. You can go in there and look up keywords, reach out to those people. Now, you're going to have to reach out to them through the Craigslist. So when you say reply, it pulls up the Gmail, and it's going to send it back to Craigslist. But 5-10 minutes in the morning, you can fire off, 5, 6, 7 of these emails. Just let them know that, hey, I reviewed your resume. You've got some characteristics, skill sets that we're looking for. I would like to talk to you about possibly interviewing for position, whatever you guys want to do as far as the intro there. But you're just kind of throwing stuff out there. You're creating enough legs that will give you a pipeline of leads so that in case something happens and one of those legs falls short or changes in some way, your business is not dramatically affected. And really, this is all we're doing. On the LinkedIn and Facebook, you're connecting with people, the intro connection message. If, as you're coming in with those, the intro is first. If that's not answered, the help message, that's not answered. The how money works messages, you can throw value-based messages in there, other messages in there. But essentially, you're connecting, engaging, and messaging people to see if we can possibly help them on the partner, the client side, if they might be a referral, networking opportunity. There's a lot of opportunity out there. And I will tell you that, talk to some of you guys, and LinkedIn is professional. So you're locked into a professional environment where you're connecting with people based on profession, based on keywords, in that environment. Facebook is different. It's a personal experience. So don't feel like if you're going to Facebook and you're joining like insurance groups or entrepreneur groups and you're finding that you're not seeing a lot of success in there, you're just tired of the insurance agents arguing amongst each other, you can actually go to a Facebook group and, go to motivational groups, inspirational groups. If you have a favorite team that you follow, you want to surround yourself with positive people that even if there wasn't a partner opportunity, not a client opportunity, not a referral opportunity, that you're okay with surrounding yourself with those type of people. Positive people, people who have similar interests. And really, you want to have enough space in between these messages. So the intro message goes when the connection is made. It's not answered. 7 to 10 days later, the help message. 7 to 10 days later, the how money works message. Remember, don't cram a bunch of messages into a compressed time frame. It waters down the effectiveness of it, and it just doesn't work. All we're trying to do here is, like Alana said, create an inverse of what we used to do. We used to reach out and see if there was interest, send information, and follow up. Doesn't work. Long, tedious process, and quite frankly, it sucks to have that much follow-up trying to chase people down when you never really had the opportunity to talk to them. So the intro message, the help message, the how money works message, we're trying to reverse or inverse that process to push more people onto the phone so we can start to pre-qualify. Because remember, the other way, you're only talking to people who have watched the videos and have interest in what we're doing. This way, you get to talk to more people, which gives you an opportunity to get more client sales out of this. And if you can push these connections to a 30+% in terms of the messages you send out, getting people on the phone, you have a lot of people to talk to. If you're good at what you do on those calls, you should have some good results coming out of that. Remember, you cannot go into these calls, whether it's the intro, the help, how money works, flying blind, just whatever happens, because A, you're going to get off track. B, they're going to get off track. And some of these people can really get off track in terms of where they take the conversation, what they talk about. So yes, you are letting them talk, but you're also steering the conversation, the direction of the conversation. You're wanting to go someplace. So every once in a while, you might have to interrupt them and with one of those questions. Hey, what are some obstacles you're facing right now? What are you trying to do? So make sure no matter what call it is, you're going in there predetermined with a set or an outline that you're following so that you get what you want and you're not wasting your time. And also, as you're going in there, remember, you got to read people. So the value identifier map, the environment, the emotions, the objections, successes, influence, actions, behaviors, the more you understand human psychology and the ability to read people, I learned early on when people talk and they lead with their problems, that's usually a fixed mindset. So if you talk to somebody, they're talking, oh, this happened, this happened, this happened, and there's no real positivity coming out of their recent months, weeks, whatever it is in their life, that's not the right mindset. So you'll get to know these little tips, and you'll start to run through these people. That allows you to get rid of the others quicker, to have more time to spend with the people who actually fit into your persona. And really, you're just looking at making sure on those calls that, if you're identifying a problem and solution, you want to know, where are they now, where do they want to go, how are they going to get there, and then you want them to realize that if you're offering a solution, they can't do it alone, they can't do it fast enough, they really don't know how to do it. On the partner side, there's a lot of different questions that come but essentially it comes from three main questions. Is this real? Can I do it? What help am I going to get? And from our side, what have you been doing with your life professionally? Do you understand what we're doing? Do you share our vision? And then what's going to motivate you to see this through? It's not enough just to have our vision. You got to have the work ethic and the grit to back it up. Automation is going to be another thing that we heavily work on this year. Last year we worked on LinkedIn Helper. Some of you guys are using alternates to this. I don't really care. Whatever you want to use that helps you out, that you like, go for it. But essentially Helper is just a step 1, step 2, step 3 process that will automate your messages. Now, once again, LinkedIn doesn't like this. It technically violates the terms and guidelines. It's your choice whether or not you want to use it. But it does help tremendously in terms of the time savings and the ability just to continue to do stuff, because all you're doing is just setting up to collect people in a certain file of a certain type of persona. You're going to invite them as they get back into your connections or your audience. You're going to send them, the intro, thank you message. And from that point, the third step is you've got the file and you can just run them through different series of messages versus having to go in, manage all this manually, do all these things. What I've learned is that if you're bringing a partner in and you're asking them to do all this manually, they might do it for a little bit of time, but human nature, naturally, we drop off and we do less and less and less. If you can show your partners how to do this manually at the beginning so they understand why they're doing it and show them automation tools, they'll stick with it, which gets a bigger pipeline going. The reason that we concentrate on LinkedIn first and foremost and Facebook right underneath is LinkedIn messages generate an 11 times better response than compared with the other messages. So we're not just sending messages through the message center just to have something to do. It gets response, people are reading it, and people are responding. And this year what we're going to do is we started, middle to late of last year, really using Facebook as a tool for our business. This year what we're going to concentrate on is that messenger, which, a lot of the digital marketing experts and marketing experts say that Facebook Messenger is going to have a bigger and bigger and bigger place in advertising and marketing. Well, what we want to do is we want to create an automated system there. We're going to be working with some bot tools to get that up and going and then share that with you when it's all built out. The most important part of what you're doing on the upfront is rapport, trust, credibility. People will give you the information that you need to uncover a problem where you can offer a solution, an action step, if you can nail the bottom of this pyramid. And we do this in several different ways. One of the ways that you guys can help yourself on LinkedIn, if you've got a new partner, you guys have been working together, they're appreciative of your, training, tool, support, ask them to write a recommendation for you on LinkedIn and let them know you'll write a recommendation for them. Somebody goes to your profile and you're marketing for business or whatever it might be, and they see a bunch of LinkedIn recommendations, that starts to build that trust and credibility. So that's one of the ways you guys can do that. And in a business model like this, where you've got a lot of people coming through, you should have the opportunity to get a lot of recommendations. And then another thing that builds that trust and credibility is what WealthWave gave us. They gave us our cause and our mission, the how money works, change your financial literacy, change your life. For the millennial generation, they need the cause and mission. For the older generation, Generation X, Boomer, et cetera, they understand that and they appreciate it. So this covers all the generations. And quite frankly, I've gotten no negative feedback on this as our mission, our cause. It's very positive. Because all we're trying to do is we realize that financial literacy is a big part or a big problem in this country. And the reason is because just like we talk about, if you've got heart disease, cancer in your family, it's passed down. If you've got poor financial habits, being broke in your family, that gets passed down too. So what we're doing is we're breaking the mindset, teaching people to have new paths, new habits. And like I said, the marketplace accepts this very positive. Every company on planet knows what they do. Some companies know how they do what they do. Very few can really articulate why they do what they do. The reason I bring this slide up is, number one, goes back to our mission and cause. Why are we doing what we're doing on the client side, as well as the business opportunity side, financial literacy, how money works? That's the company answer to that. Also, you as a personal brand need to be able to answer in the marketplace why you do what you do. Why are you part of this? Why are you trying to build this? People, once again, you're being real and authentic in the marketplace. People are going to come back and they're going to be appreciative of that. They're going to open up to you. We talked about the financial literacy problem. With or without virtual financial, the financial literacy problem is there. People still need to learn how money works, still need to make better decisions. What we do is we take that problem and we understand how that creates a business opportunity. We just do it in a much more efficient way with a much better reach that allows our partners to come in and grow a business on a lot of different levels, both time, roles. We have a great business model for lots of different types of people if, like I said, they share our vision and they've got the work ethic and grit to back it up. We've also got a system. I love when we hire somebody and they say, I love systems, or after they get to know our system, I love this, I can do this, this makes sense to me, versus the people that don't like systems. They don't want to walk a line. Well, I'll tell you, the most successful companies, they have systems that they follow. Our company is no different. It allows a lot to happen. It allows you for a quicker exit strategy. It allows the average to become great. So if somebody's not interested in following a system, once again, this is not the right business opportunity, but they are, and they can really get dialed into this. It does great things. One thing the system does for us that we need to concentrate on this year is understanding the revolution of the lead process, because cold marketing, social media marketing fuels warm market lead generation if you do this correctly as a manager. Now, once again, you need to get paid for your time, energy, resources, efforts. So do your new partners. One of the ways you can do this is to manage them in an effective way that helps them make money. So this is the circle, obviously. Tier 1, we talk about that. Tier 2 is just an admin. Tier 3 and 5 is just showing them what a consultant does. Most important part of our circle right here for the new partner is the Tier 4, intro to the CRM, the brains of our operation, learn how to use it. And then Tier 6, launching the business to help them not only understand how to use the CRM, but hopefully to get them a partner interview, maybe an easy sale like a term upgrade. Once again, especially coming out of the industry, if you have partners coming in to pass the exam and you're able to make them immediate income, A, they're going to go deeper into that phone and look for more warm market. But B, they're going to get more dialed in with the activity, get more excited about this. The quicker you make somebody money, the longer they're going to stay with the business, the longer they're going to give this activity. So if you are failing as a manager in the Tier 6, it's costing you organizational growth, it's costing you money, it's costing you partner money, and it may cost you a partner. If the partner is willing to make these calls, help them, role play with them a little bit, set them up for what they need to do. If they don't want to and they don't feel comfortable, then the manager will do it. Repetition is the key to mastery. So if you get into the habit of doing all these tiers correctly every time, you're going to get better, stronger, and more confident in leading other people. But also, if you're doing repetition and it's not what we're supposed to be doing, that's going to be taking you further and further and further away from mastery. Two sides to the business, and we always talk about this. You have to concentrate on both. And even if you're just an inviter, you have to understand that, yes, consultants will make sales for you, but you also want to be marketing on the client side as well. And once again, the out-of-pocket term question, you can ask that enough per month, that's money in your pocket directly. So we're looking for people that need help. Are they interested in our free services, talking to clients, want to sit down with people, get help? Or is it somebody that's actually in a position that can help? And that's the business opportunity. So when you look at the business opportunity, this is what it is, a digital marketing opportunity in one of the largest industries with a huge client need, creating a distribution model with a cash flow asset that allows business ownership, no point of resistance, and really no barriers of entry. Now, this bottom one, don't get this confused. This is not no barriers of entry for competition. This is no barriers of entry for you to come in and build a dynamic nationwide business. And then also from the business opportunity side, we've got the products, got the marketplace, got the financial backing. What you supply is the mindset and the branding. Yes, you want to get on a brand, Virtual Financial, what we have to offer, but you are the personal brand. People are going to buy into you first before they buy into anything else that you have to offer. So you've got three of them covered, and then you cover the other brand and the mindset. This business, and this is another quote directly from Bill Mitchell, this business has always been about distribution. I'm not in here to be an insurance agent. I'm not in here to be a producer, to work long hours, build a book of business, and retire X amount of years later and let that book pay me some and gradually dwindle away. I'm here to build massive distribution and set my family up for not only our lifetime, but lifetimes to come. So when you're out there, the producer mentality, it's hard to break that. If you can't, just move on. But understand that a producer, yes, can definitely jump out in terms of success, income, and revenue on a person who's building distribution. But once that person building distribution catches up, that producer will never, ever, ever be able to catch pace. Because you have to look at the cash flow quadrant. If an employee is happy there, great. We might have some client services that can help them. We get a lot of this, and 70% of the small business owner or small businesses are owned by one person. So they effectively own a job here. We might be able to help them out on the client side, but a lot of independent insurance agents fall here. And if that's something that they can't crack that mentality, they think they own a business when they really own a job, there's not much you can do to change mindset, because this is what we want. We want business ownership and a cash flow opportunity with basically no expenses that fuels a lot of investment. Left-hand side, if they're comfortable there, they need to stay there. We might be able to help them out on client services. If they're right-hand side, a lot of the people who are interested in this business are already on this side, or they understand the need to move to that side. It's turnkey business, and you get confident about what you have to offer. It's a plug-and-play, predictable, profitable model that if you succumb to the system and learn the tiers and everything else that you need to do, you'll have people that fall out. You have people that don't make it. You'll have some people that have some activity. You'll have some people to help you build distribution. But obviously, it takes the emotion out of all this. The system will just take care of what it needs to if you take care of the front side. Remember, 120% is our contract level. With the renewals, it's 179%, but that's not a producer contract. That's built. It's not bought. It's hustled, not handed, and it's earned, not given. Through the grid, how we build distribution, you earn your money. So as a producer comes in or a partner comes in, you're doing a lot. As a manager, as somebody who oversees multiple franchises, you're earning that money, but you go from a position where you have a lot of active income in the beginning from your work, and then slowly it starts to mature into more and more and more passive income until you have an exit point. People in the insurance industry, if they have a 100% contract or whatever, and they're working as an independent producer, there's only so many hours in the day. There's only so many people that you can meet. So this allows you to move to business ownership. And this is an incredible contract. Once it's in place, can't be taken from you, and you just move through the steps. Once you've got a base shop, you start working on the distribution. First things first, senior vice president, the first really big metric of growth that you need to tackle. And you need to understand who you're looking for. I will tell you that every time I violate my partner persona, it comes back to screw me. Alana and I did it in the month of December. Young kid in his early 20s, wanted to be financially free in his early 30s, was gung-ho, went from working full-time to part-time to no time, I think before the tier 4. So understand why you have a partner persona, and then if you violate it and it doesn't work, understand and revisit. You're looking for the right people. I would not have been able to do this business in my early 20s. I know what was going on in my lifetime. Most people in this business start to find success in their early 30s plus, because at that point you're starting to manage commitments, spouse, kids, house, all of these things that we look for. So develop a persona, understand who you're looking for, where to find them, and then when you find them, understand what to say to them that resonates from their side. Sell your vision. We talked about this. You have to understand why you do what you do and be able to go out in the marketplace and sell that to other people. And then the second part of our business is the client services. Need help. And this is what we do. We help people improve their cash flow, improve debt management, set up and fund emergency funds, making sure they're properly protected, setting up asset accumulation for retirement, outside retirement, whatever it might be, in vehicles that actually make sense to them. And then finally, estate preservation. All of this, that two-part tier 3, 5, completely free, no cost, no obligation. Sit down with a consultant. And if you look at the retirement pyramid and look at where we fall into there with an insurance license and a broker platform that we can access, and if you look at the legislation that just came out on retirement accounts to include more guaranteed income products like annuities, this is going to be more and more of a theme going forward, because Generation X saw the NASDAQ bubble collapse and burst, 9/11, the mortgage bubble, millennials saw the mortgage bubble burst. They understand and they want guaranteed income. Pensions for the most part are a thing of history. You can recreate self-directed pension with a lot of what we do. So guaranteed income, insurance, we fit with our products and our services very well in this pyramid. People need to talk to you whether, it's abundantly clear as it may be in the marketplace. We understand from statistics that people need to talk to us, but you understand how to talk to people. You wouldn't approach an overweight person if you were a nutritionist or an instructor with certain types of verbiage that puts them down and makes them feel bad about yourself. You're lifting them up and trying to show them a way that's showing forward thinking they can get to a point they want to be, whether it's physically, financially, spiritually, whatever it is. If you have a roadmap and a plan and you work with a professional and get that guidance, you can get there. That's all we're doing. And then finally, we've got huge product revolution cycles going on, pricing power. We've really got a lot going on the digital side as well as the product side. Just embrace both sides. Understand you can do a lot of good. And when you understand that your business is built on huge positive ripple effects on both partners as well as clients, that gains confidence. When you have the confidence in the marketplace, people hear that, they understand it, and they actually gravitate towards it. You got to understand, yes, we pass an insurance license. We get trained every week on a multitude of different positions within this company. But if you're going out there and you're cramming information, insurance language down people's throats, even if they were interested in what you were talking about first, if they get confused, they're going to get paralyzed, they're going to shut down. And instead of, coming out, in a format that may show them as being stupid or ignorant, they just won't say anything and they'll just shut down. So your information, your stories need to be laid out in a Sesame Street simple format. Yes, you're looking for pain points. You're also being empathetic, but you're also making sure that you're not talking over them or over-educating the client, because you want to educate, but you also want to get paid for your sales. We're a tech company, and that's one of our biggest advantages in the marketplace. The innovation that our technological approach to this marketplace brings gives us a lot of, new market value that's coming over our way. So with that being in mind, understand we're a tech company. You got to understand where your audience spends time, and you got to identify that. You got to reach them where they're spending time. You also have to understand if lots of this stuff is going to be mobile going forward. I don't know about you guys. I can scroll through large amounts of data in a little bit of time. And when you're doing that, understand what's popping up that's making you stop, because we essentially scroll through on the phone every day the link to the Statue of Liberty. And so when you've got that in mind, you have to understand what's going to make people stop. It's one thing and one thing only. It doesn't matter. You got the most creative language on there. If you don't have an image that pops off, colorful, jumps off the screen, makes people stop, your words are never going to be read by the other side. So understand most of the digital marketing performance of your ad is going to be in the image. Also, you have to understand if you're a technology company and you're portraying yourself as that, knowledge is the new currency. So if you want to get ahead and attract top talent, not only do you have to have the activity, but you've got to make sure that you're willing to go out and learn new stuff, because people are going to be attracted to someone who they believe that can lead them to success. If you're coming out and you're developing this new stuff, and you're sharing it with people, it's going to attract top talent, because now what's going to happen is that new partner feels very confident. Oh, Joe, Betty, whoever it might be, they've really got my best interest in mind. They're giving me all this great stuff. It gives them confidence. They go out and talk to people that they've got something special to offer. Know your numbers. Absolutely. You can't go through business if you don't know your numbers. That's all the way from data on marketing down to your cash flow. Remember to know your numbers. Like Marcus Lemonis says, the guy who does the profit on CNBC, if you don't know your numbers, you don't know your business. And the people who understand their numbers understand how to grow and scale a business and teach other people how to do that. Momentum. Everything can, just like when you invest money and it compounds, so does activity. Whether it's marketing, conversations, recruiting, sales, peer activity, you want to make sure you create a nice momentum and surround yourself with like-minded people. Success is a group activity. If you're finding that, the person on the other end of the phone is negative, you have to understand this person not only needs to be a partner, but probably going to be a close personal relationship, especially in the beginning. So if you wouldn't want to go out, hang out with them at a cocktail dinner or party, probably not a good partner to bring in. And lastly, we're going to start working next week. The theme of the Wednesday team meeting is how to organize your day at Virtual Financial. Whether you're full-time, part-time, whether you got 15 hours, 40 hours, whatever it might be, we're going to break down little small increments of time, how much should be spent on each one of these activities to make sure that you're doing what's necessary to get the results, but also so you understand what time increments that you need on a daily basis to make sure that you get everything done. So guys, that's all we got for today. Let's see, we've got just a few minutes. I'll bring Alana back in. She'll open it back up. If there's any questions that you guys have, let us know. If you need help on a private basis, let us know as well.
Thank you so much, Mike. Really, really great information. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording, and then we'll open up the floor for questions or anything like that. So give me just 1 second to do that.